The Harmon Dae-Jung was a Donager-class dreadnought, half a kilometer in length and 250,000 tons dry weight. Her interior docking bay was large enough to hold 4 frigate-class escort ships and a variety of lighter shuttles and repair craft. Currently, it held only 2 ships, the large and almost opulent shuttle that had ferried the Martian ambassadors and state officials up for the flight to Earth, and the smaller and more functional Navy shuttle Bobbie had ridden up from Ganymede. Bobbie was using the empty space to jog. The Dae-Jung's captain was being pressured by the diplomats to get them to Earth as quickly as possible, so the ship was running at a near constant 1G acceleration. While this made most of the Martian civilians uncomfortable, it suited Bobbie just fine. The Corps trained at high G all the time, and did lengthy endurance drills at 1G at least once a month. No one ever said it was to prepare for the possibility of having to fight a ground war on Earth. No one had to. The multiple fleets of humanity had crossed over the gate from the Sol side. 3 fleets, highly suspicious of each other, cruised in this new space where the laws of physics could be bent. 3 fleets, unaware of the invisible grasp on all of their ships, like the sword of Damocles perched over an unaware king. When threatened, the alien power that controlled the laws of physics in this space reacted to any perceived threat, having already lowered the limit of speed to 600 meters per second, slowing the 3 fleets' travel to a crawl. When a Martian Marine fires a grenade towards an automated defense, the power that controls the laws of physics slowed the maximum speed down even further to tens of meters per second from 600, resulting in a mass deceleration event on the 3 fleets that they were not prepared for. Crews and passengers that hadn't been strapped down to their beds or crash couches all felt the raw exertion of a decelerative force equaling 1,000 miles per hour instantly and brutally smashing them against the inside of their ships, crippling all of the crews of the 3 fleets through mass casualties due to the decelerative force felt by all the ships. Thus is the force of gravity, spreading its invisible hand out from all the massive stars, giants, and black holes in the universe. In the history of our species, humanity has never existed outside of a gravity well, outside of the invisible hold of gravity constantly applying its pressure to all known life. Holden knew that humans could tolerate extremely high G-forces over short durations. With proper safety systems, professional daredevils had sustained impacts in excess of 25 Gs and survived. The human body deformed naturally, absorbed energy in soft tissues, and diffused impacts across larger areas. He also knew the problem with extended exposure to high G was that the constant pressure on the circulatory system would begin exposing weaknesses. Have a weak spot in an artery that could turn into an aneurysm in 40 years? A few hours at 7G just might pop it open now. Capillaries in the eyes started to leak. The eye itself deformed, sometimes causing permanent damage. And then there were the hollow spaces, like the lungs and the digestive tract. You piled on enough gravity, they'll collapse. A flashing red indicator informed Holden that because of the duration they'd spent at the current acceleration, he could expect as much as 12% of the crew to stroke out. It would go up. Enough time, and it would reach 100%. He tried to remember the Rossi's maximum theoretical acceleration. Alex had already flown it at 12G briefly when they left the Donager. The actual limit was one of those trivial numbers. A way to brag about something your ship would never really do. 15G, was it? 20?
After consulting with Naomi, Bobbie and Alex head out on a mission to destroy the Tempest using what they learned from the transport freighter ship Intercept. This information reveals a blind spot in the Tempest sensor view that Bobbie uses to sneak the White Crow close enough so they can send a small rocket with an antimatter bomb attached to destroy the Tempest. Unfortunately, Bobbie's ship takes PDC damage upon approach. Bobbie's co-pilot Renee Glauden is killed, but the antimatter bombs are untouched. Seeing that she will no longer be able to get the antimatter bombs close with the rockets they had, she takes a final measure of using her Laconian power armor's thrusters to accelerate the antimatter bomb towards the Tempest. The heart of the Tempest had stood alone against the combined forces of Earth, Mars, and the Belt and won. It had put all humanity under Laconia's yoke. It was the living symbol of why all resistance against High Council Duarte would always be in vain. When their sensors finished, their override reset, it was gone. Alex cycled between numbness and grief with the regularity of a clock. When he could stand it, he watched the news feeds from around the system replaying the explosion he hadn't been able to see because he was too close when it happened. The best one was from Earth. A handheld camera filming a child's kite competition was pointing at the right section of the sky when the light reached there, and the brightness against the blue had been like a small, brief sun, even at that distance.